The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings.
It was 1980 and my daughter Kelly was born. She was born directly into the MKUltra mind control project on a much higher level, a more sophisticated technological level than I was subjected to. In addition to trauma, she was subjected to harmonic mind control programming on NASA installations literally since birth.
They would torture children and young adults, and they would use this torture to split their personalities and be able then to be like them. So a code word would snap them out of their fake life and back into the reality of who they were.
Today I'm joined by Dr. Colin Ross. He is an author and psychiatrist based out of Dallas, Texas, and he is a leading expert on the CIA mind control experiments, especially MKUltra.
It really starts, first of all, with the formation of the CIA in 1947, and then a couple of programs called Bluebird and Artichoke that began in 1950, and they really rolled over into MKUltra, which started in 1954, ended in 1963, and then MKUltra rolled over into MK-Search.
I'm Christy Nicola, born July of 1962, rendering me 32 years of age. I was a subject in radiation as well as mind control and drug experiments performed by a man I knew as Dr. Green.
My handler, he took me to various military and NASA installations for mind control programming for specific operations that I was forced to participate in. And they involved such leaders as President of Mexico at that time, De La Madrid, and Vice President Salinas.
Around this date, Admiral Stansfield Turner, who was head of the CIA, went before a congressional subcommittee, and he admitted to them that yes, the CIA is carrying out mind control on countless numbers of unwitting American victims. And he even went so far as to say the basic methods that they use in this mind control: hypnosis, drugs, and torture.
A ride, to be honest. I really can't complain. Yeah, I was I was a little down, but I found out.
Ronald Reagan telling Brian Mulroney, the only way to world peace was through mind control of the masses. I know from experience there's no peace of mind under mind control. And I wonder, at a world peace where people don't have peace of mind.
I went straight to, okay, so what is the end game? Why are you training all these people? What do you intend to do with them? And she, in those uncertain terms, said, oh, they're going to overthrow every government on Earth and create a one-world government and take over.
He's MKUltra, and this is basically trauma-based mind control that's been going on for decades now to human beings, and the counts I think up into millions.
Oh yeah.
And half the people in power positions are MKUltra.
The mind control experiments had several different purposes, not just one. If you look at the MKUltra projects, there was 149 of them, and they roughly divide one-third, one-third, one-third. So a third were basically contracts to acquire certain chemicals, compounds, mushrooms, and so on.
And Donald Richard Ebner, my natural father, was involved with Dr. Green in the experiments. I was a subject from 1966 to 1976.
About a third were relatively benign, kind of academic research contracts, scattered around a whole set of different universities. And most of the time on those, the money would go from the CIA to a front organization, and then from the front organization to the investigator. And the investigator would be unwitting, meaning that he didn't know it was CIA money.
Dr. Ewan Cameron and Dr. Louis Jolyon West, they were two examples of mind control programmers. They discovered that if they scarred the brainstem, they could create somebody with a photographic memory.
Dr. Green performed radiation experiments on me in 1970, focusing on my neck, throat, and chest. 1972, focusing on my chest and my uterus in 1975. Each time I became dizzy, nauseous, and threw up. All these experiments were performed on me in conjunction with mind control techniques and drugs in Tucson, Arizona.
Mind control, the ramifications of mind control are far-reaching, because I also know that under mind control there's no free thought. Without free thought, there's no free will. Without God-given free will, there's no soul expression. What kind of a world peace can we have without any free will or any soul expression, without any spirituality?
And then in a third of contracts, the investigator was cleared at top secret, was witting, and knew there was CIA mind control money. And those ones were hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, LSD, a whole bunch of different projects, which were bits and pieces of the overall mind control program.
We've been planning it for hundreds of years, and it took a long time to build the infrastructure. And we've been training around the clock. Now, keep in mind, this was 11 years ago. She said, we've been training around the clock. She said, we may only train once or twice a month, but there's somebody training somewhere every night.
Dr. Green was using me mostly as a mind control subject from 1966 to 1973. His objective was to gain control of my mind and train me to be a spy assassin.
They're indoctrinating the people who are watching this and following this and become fans. Let's say, fans. They're not only indoctrinating, they're desensitizing people, because these are people that people are following and they want to dress like them, they want to have their hair like them, so on and so forth. And now they're bringing in the aspect of it's not just a breakdown, it's really cool to have an alter ego.
Yeah.
Whenever physically possible, I snuck into his office and found files with reports and memos addressed to CIA and military personnel. Included in these files were project, subproject, subject, and experiment names with some code numbers for radiation and mind control experiments, which I have submitted in your written documentation.
Drug experiments done in prisons with incarcerated drug addicts. There was experiments at Georgetown University with terminal cancer patients, incarcerated sex offenders in Michigan, psychiatric patients, and then there was experiments on unwitting civilians.
That the natural mind is not one monolithic thing, but it's many components. And the Illuminati understand what those components are and how to divide the mind from itself and how to control those processes.
And that there are thousands and thousands and thousands of MK Ultra mind control slaves who are trained assassins who live amongst ordinary people and are in fact completely unaware most of the time of who they really are until they're woken up.